platoon, which is another platoon I can bring in, and I just may very well do that. I can field 3 American half tracks that are armed with bazooka teams that literally fire the bazookas out the back of the half tracks, so they're very mobile and they can get in and do some damage. So it's a great game. There's all kinds of facets to it. I would say if you're watching this, skimming through videos, if you're into World War II or any kind of war type games, you really want to look at Flames of War. Um, my tip to you is I went out and bought a used German army from another player, half of which I don't even field most of what I purchased because I didn't look before I leap, so to speak. So I would say get one of the books. You can get your rule book. Obviously, is the first thing you're going to need. This is the mini rule book that I had spiral bound. You can get the full-size rule book and really go through there. They do have some, with the new rule book, they have some sample army lists as part of your purchase, which is nice. So you don't have to buy any additional army list books yet, or what we call battle books. And really research who you want to play, Americans, Germans, Finns, Russians, where your heart lies, what your real interest is. Then you can start looking at what is really good off those lists, and what you want to buy, and strategically purchase things and not just run out and buy models because they look cool or you think that you like them. Because trust me, I've purchased all kinds of German armor and German equipment that sits in a bag because I wanted to collect it. Of course, I have the expendable income to do that, but if you're in college and you're watching your money and you're being frugal, which I advise you to do, you want to strategically buy things, and you can even go in with a friend and you can build a force together to go to tournaments, so you can share the cost a little bit for an army. So anyways, just a few little tips there. But so long for now. We're going to wait for this board to dry up, and then we will go get our gallon of Elmer's glue. We'll get a brush. I'm getting ahead of myself. The next time we come back, once this dries, we'll be working on the edge, and then of course we brush on the thick Elmer's glue. We'll put sand on top of that. We'll let that dry. We'll knock off the excess sand. I'll put a little bit more sand in some light spots, and then I'll use my spray bottle with my watered down Elmer's glue over the top and get the whole thing soaking wet with wet Elmer's glue with a spray bottle. We'll let that dry for 48 hours. We'll knock off any excess, do the same procedure, make sure the board is evenly covered the way we want it. Sprinkle on then we'll do our paint, our brown paint on top of the sand, and then while that paint is still wet, I will sprinkle flock on that paint to get that flock to set in with that paint, and it'll give it a beautiful look just like this, but by using the paint. Now when I did this board, I did not use the paint technique, that latex paint really gives it a nice finish, and it'll really help hold the flock down, and it's going to make it look extremely realistic. I think I will go and I'm going to get a lighter brown. The color I used on that 40K board was a little dark. I'll probably go with something a little bit lighter, almost like a sand color. I just think the lighter color just makes the minis pop and the terrain pop off the board. I kind of want to stick with the same color, so it's almost like a light sand with that nice flocking. Now what I did with my flocking too, I learned a little tip, is I mixed the medium green with some dark green, and then you can buy some flocking that has little yellow flecks that almost make it look like little dandelions. And being in the lawn care business, as I am, it kind of gives it a nice touch, making it look like it has some weeds mixed in, so it doesn't look so perfect. So I really love how this board turned out as far as the texture and everything, and we're going to try to mimic that on this board. And then I won't have to mess with seams anymore, and my models being all rickety and flimsy on the edges. So goodbye for now, and I'll see you next time. Ciao. Hey, new camera, new time. We're gonna show you what we've been up to. What I did was I flipped the board over, and I did the same procedure on the other side. I basically put our Loctite caulk down, and I also, you want to see here, I took the fiber tape and I put fiber tape all the way around the board. So we're going to try out the new HD camera here. I wanted to show you how easy this stuff is to work with. You can see how this is just overhanging just a little bit right here. So I haven't put Elmer's on it yet. You just pull it away, kind of straighten it up, just work with it a little bit, get it to lay back down, push it. It's adhesive. It's not super adhesive though. Now when I was doing the board, I noticed I had a little bit of a gash here. Zoom out. That's about as far out as I can zoom. But I got a little bit of a gash there, so I've got a little bit of putty left. I'm going to take that putty and I'm going to inject it into that cavity. Like that. A little bit of cavity there. A very little bit of product left. My spackle here, so we can get us some good light here. And I'm going to smooth it out. And that will harden into a nice crust. An extra on that. This is going really, really well. Yeah, everything. So you can see how I basically filled that hole there on the side there. And then when obviously I'll put Elmer's glue over this, and then once that dries, we'll paint it black once we get the top done, and you won't even be able to see that. Take any excess that you have left. I went out today and picked up a new Sony HD camera. Now we can hopefully have some better video quality. So step by step here, folks, that's how everything in life should work. You should run right out and get a Ferrari. You should start with a Volkswagen Beetle and work your way up to a Porsche Carrera. So that's basically it. We got, this is the flip side of the board. This will help reinforce that other side. It actually dried quicker than 24 hours. But you can see I just smoothed it out. And got it nice and flat, so it's going to be really, really nice when this gets done. It's going to make one nice solid piece, and we'll get on rocking. Alright, I'll see you guys on the next video, and ciao!